through the power spike on OMGE and quick and win fights decisively. But there it is, the aforementioned Nathan.
Yep, they needed magic damage. So, the scaling for Omega Empress, they have a chance.
Last match here for the day. I mean, I feel like we're just flying through the knockout stage, obviously, because this is the next one to decide who gets to the semifinals between these two teams here. And already, I think a lot of people, I know Renmar mentioned the whole audience predictions. I feel like a lot of people might even be split amongst this because of what's happened with Malaysia lately. Like even for MSC, like Leo mentioned, they are on a rise here. And we'll see if the female team can replicate that success going forward. Because if they do beat Smart Omega Empress in this best of 3, that'd be great for them. That'd be great for the region and the story here. But I think they have a lot to kind of handle here, Lafel.
I feel like for this one, it's going to be difficult to call because, again, even though I'm Malaysian and seeing what Red Giants did in MSC, even I can't really say that Gaming Gladiators Homegirls can really take this one. Now, I want to talk about the draft here. I kind of feel like the draft is kind of good going up against the Hayabusa because you got the healing coming in from the Minotaur, and mostly all of them are pretty tanky. Like, even the mid laner is going to build up a Clock of Destiny.
Yeah.
So this Hayabusa, the real target is going to be Fafao on this Claude. And as long as Fafao is able to take care of herself, or Chiboy is able to hover around here to make sure that whenever she does get Ogi Shadow killed, she'll get healed up. Once the Flash of the Oasis is done, it's going to be difficult for this Hayabusa to really do anything.
Yeah, I think Minotaur has just been, he's been the pick. Yeah. He's been the guy. I was going to say the guy, but he's been the animal, to bring to the table. He's the, well, as Griffin said, he's the bull.
He's the bull.
He's the bull to go, and he fits in so many different team compositions. I think that's what makes him so good, but also the healing. Like you mentioned, even pre-Flask of the Oasis, you still can't count it out. We've seen it so many times actually save, members that were running away, especially when it comes to these first objectives, the first turtle even. But yeah, once that Flask of the Oasis comes online, it's very helpful for the overall sustain of a team. As everybody pretty much tries to get this level 4, we still have Keshi, of course, working on her buff. They might have to give this one up. I don't think she's going to get there in time to contest this turtle here, as it looks like it's going to the hands of Quinn. Just like that, gets the objective.
Let me just say as well, while Chiboy is running away, for our analysts, honestly, for Gaming Gladiators Homegirls, this draft is a very comfortable draft for them. Fafao can carry with the Claude. The Baxia is basically Queen's hero, and Chiboy on this Minotaur, like you said, it's the pick. So honestly, besides the Jushin, this is basically what Homegirls has been using for months, maybe even years now.
We haven't even talked about the elephant in the room. It's Jushin. Like, so many times when she's picked up, it's like, how do you handle her? How do you handle playing against the whole flare concept, being dragged back, getting those stacks off really easily? There's the pull, though. And the Eternal Guard going to be dropped down, and now Chiboy could be in trouble, but with the heal, she gets away with 1 HP, and now still going to be going for the fight. Amore could be in trouble with this one as she gets dragged back by the flare, and the first blood now secured here for GGHG.
And there we can see a bit of the strength coming in from the Jushin. Using her Crimson Beacon, she's able to move around quite well. Noble, Keishi built up the Sky Piercer here, but I'm not so sure whether it's usable for this one. I kind of prefer it for something like a Hunter Strike or even a Blade of Hephaestus, just so that you have a little bit more damage in the early game here.
I feel like, it's just such a cheap item.
Yeah.
1,500 gold, you might as well grab it early on and see how that goes, because you can see she's going to work on the next, but I think you kind of rely on the fact that you can pump out some damage. Already, look at this. I'm Offended going to be landed too, and now they're going to try to keep this tier 1 turret alive, but the flare brings Murray back again. It looks like she's going to be okay. She's able to survive the exchange, but man, talk about escaping just by a thread. Smart Omega Empress, they got to respect the damage that's coming across from them, but they're still keeping it relatively easy. Going back to the point, even with Keshi picking up the Sky Piercer first item, they should have relatively good capabilities of managing the damage, early on, especially with Amore. She died earlier on. She was the first blood, but you can't count out, too, the Eternal Guard utility. And that's why they're going to go ahead and start up this turtle. Second objective for Smart Omega Empress. They'll go ahead and try to cap this one out, even it out, but the fight is going to go. But Keshi will already secure the turtle. I'm not sure if they still want to fight this out. Eternal Guard going to be dropped down. Look at the damage and the knockups. Quinn able to get a kill, but Chiboy also on Amore. It's only 2, make it 3 that fall for Smart Omega Empress. They couldn't get anything out of it. GGHG might have lost the objective, but they win the team fight.
this is where they really use their utility. I kind of feel like that's really good because right now we're going to look at the STC replay and look at Honey throughout this entire fight. This is so rare that we see a mage being the pick-off hero. She's the one that can isolate a target. Like, look at this. She was even able to go to Keishi and take him down. Like, the amount of crowd control coming in from the Jushin as well as the Minotaur makes it so that smart Omega Empress, they don't want to commit to the fight, but they didn't have a choice.
This is just like, I don't know, Odette 2.0.
Yeah.
You know,
A different kind of Odette. Odette deals damage. This one deals
stacks.
Yeah.
And utility.
Utility, yeah.
Like, I mean, the way that
It's
you
a different
play
kind
it,
of Chow.
it is. And the fact that you can even flicker forward and then, you know, get those stacks faster and then drag them in, because you can drag multiple targets.
Multiple targets, yeah.
As long as they're in that little radius of the flare. And also Flask of the Oasis was just picked up by Chiboy here, so she's got that now. A little more extra sustain that we talked about leading into this. You can see, I mean, the good kind of gold lead that they built up, all just based in the last couple seconds or last couple minutes.
Gotta say as well, despite having a Hayabusa, honestly, Fafao has been having an amazing time in the lead. I wouldn't necessarily say it's a gold lane experience because I kind of feel like she didn't really have the time of her life, but still,
Not yet.
good. Not yet, no.
She's getting there, you know, but turret is going to go down. First one there for Smart Omega Empress to get. There's the drag with the flare. This is what we're talking about. Not Ayanami could be in trouble. She pops the Vengeance, though, returning a lot of that damage back. She's trying to escape. She's going to get dragged again. What do you do against that? Time and time again. And now bring it to the mid lane. Not sure if they're still going to re-engage this, but yes, you're seeing this, the power of the Jushin pick.
It makes it so that you don't have a choice.
Where do you go?
That makes it unfair. It's like, legit, I don't want to. No, Mom, no.
No more.
No. I want to pause the game. No, you can't come here. And it's like, yeah, it's unfair. It's one of those catching mechanisms where it's like, for example, catching heroes, they can do it once every, say, 20 seconds. This is like, what, 3-5 seconds? Okay, pull back then. Okay, pull back then. Pull back then.
There's probably going to be a change on that. There's got to be.
It's probably going to be a nerf.
Yeah, maybe a little bit longer until you can activate it again. I'm not sure because it's just...
more mana usage.
That might help.
Yeah.
That might help. Because, I mean, how many times have we seen whatever team does have to play against the Jushin, them trying to escape from it? I mean, looking at the items, hold on. The fight, though, for this purple buff territory, GGHG could have forced them back. Smart Omega Empress on the retreat a little bit, already using that Eternal Guard as well. She's even going to throw the Eternal Guard around, but they're low enough. They have to back off Chiboy with the heals for the motivational roar, and that's going to be it there. So again, as we were saying, you know, the power of that pick is showing here.
The thing is, I feel like the Hayabusa can deal with it. It's just the Minotaur. The minute, like, having this this Jushin alone, you have answers for it. Maybe something like a Yuzong, a Ling, a Hayabusa. But when you have this roamer that is pretty tanky and give sustain towards the mid lane, and then eventually Honey will build up more defense. So, yeah, this just feels like a double roam setup, honestly.
What is the answer for the Jushin?
Honestly, for me, I think it's the EXP. A diving kind of EXP that can tank a lot of damage and actually deal a lot of damage, especially an EXP laner that has a War Cry or a Hunt Strike. I kind of feel like you can deal with the Jushin that way. The only thing is that it has to be able to move around, because if you're just in her face too long, she's going to pull you anyway. So
it's kind of like once you use everything in your kit, you just kind of have to accept the fact that you're going to be thrown around.
Exactly.
Like, you're not going to be able to run away from it unless you have a flicker, unless you have a dash or something that you can gain some space, you know, or distance between you and the Jushin. But so far, it seems like Smart Omega Empress hasn't been able to handle that, hasn't been able to solve it just yet.
Honestly, the CC, I feel like if have maximum stacks on the War Cry, she could try. Not sure if she will succeed, but maximum stacks on War Axe might be enough to do with the Jushin.
Okay, well, right now she's going to be the focus here under this tier 2 turret. You know, trying her best to keep it under wraps, and now the rest of the team, there's the Shadow Kill going to be used already. Gets a couple health bars down there, but nothing too much. Smart Omega Empress, I feel like they just really need more time to get the items. You know, Shinoa, she's been farming up. She hasn't died, at least in her case, but at what point does the Natan start to shine? Because it looks like they might have to give up this Lord here. I'm offended going to be used. There's the pull, the Eternal Guard going to be dropped down, but Lord already secured by Quinn. And I'm not sure if they want to fight more. They know they don't have the firepower here to contest against GGHG.
Nice. While nothing is going on here, I actually have a quote here coming in from King Salman. I'll break our big problem is that our first game is always down.
Yeah.
And they say for this knockout stage, they got to work on that. And this could be good, could be bad. Maybe this is part of the script where...
At least it's best of 3.
Yeah, first game not looking good, but then game number 2, game number 3. But again, the first game is not over. Just going to give you the quote there where looks like even Smart Omega Empress, they realize usually game number 1, not their hottest game.
Yeah. I think, you know, Redmar even pointed it out. Smart Omega in general, even the men's teams that we have over there in the Philippines, they're known for like a certain timer. They call it the Omega timers. Now, even for the female team here, for the Empresses, you know, they have their own timer. And I think in a case, it's like, yeah, their first game for some reason, it's kind of like they're downloading the script. They're downloading the play here against their team they're facing. And right now that's been happening because they're going to lose these turrets as the Lord approaches the base. And look at this, Murray just continuously getting dragged in. Imofed going to be used into the Eternal Guard, forcing them back a little bit further. And still down in the mid lane, Quinn's going to be able to get away, but they hold on to the base turrets for now. Honestly, that's probably the best thing Smart Omega Empress can hope for. You know, when you're down like this, at least get that defense, hold on to your base turrets.
How you deal with the Minotaur is isolate him away from his team and then kill him first. The thing is, they don't have a way to do that here, especially when you look at the lineup. You have an Arla, you have the Minotaur as well as the Jushin. They can actually protect the Minotaur. Looking at the itemization here, his full item is just the Flask of the Oasis. The rest are just the second tier items just to have a little bit of stats.
It's like a Chop Suey.
Chop Suey?
Chop Suey build.
Yeah. And then honestly, the Arla as well has been stacking up with the Thunderbelt. So this lineup is a little bit too tanky. That's why I was a little bit worried about the Hayabusa, especially the first item, Sky Piercer. I kind of feel like Sky Piercer is okay if you can confirm the kills. If, say, in your opposing side, there's 3 squishy heroes, like the mid, the jungler, as well as the gold laner. But when the opposing side is tanky for everyone except for the gold laner, I think it's not that great.
Oh, this might be a moment to proc that Sky Piercer, and there it is. Cheap Boy's going to be the one to fall into the shadow kill once again, but the Blazing do it on the backside, forcing them back a little bit further. The flicker out from Murray, too, will keep her alive, but look at this. Final Slash going to be used, and not Ayanami will fall as well. Again, it's a 1-for-2 trade here. Smart Omega Empress does get Chiboy, but man, talk about a tough fight in the mid lane.
Like I said, this is how you deal with the Minotaur, right? You have to isolate the Minotaur. This one is more on Chiboy. Her positioning was a little bit off, and that's how they got the kill. But then afterwards, just because the difference in terms of gold as well as EXP made it so that it didn't look that big of a mistake. Homegirls was able to initiate a fight and still get something out of it. So a bit of a mistake coming in from Chiboy. But Smart Omega Empress, now they seem to understand they got to deal with the Minotaur first, and then start thinking about the rest of the team.
I think that's part of it. Once again, they're going to go. I'm offended, already going to be utilized, and this should be another kill. Cheap Boy will go down again right before this Lord is going to be the focus. So down a member. I'm wondering if Smart Omega Empress can go ahead and play with the advantage they have. They still have to keep an eye on these side lanes as well. You can see what Fafa is trying to do, trying to put pressure there on the bottom side. Like I said, at least for Smart Omega Empress, they held onto the base turrets. They can keep it kind of under control for now. They might be looking for Asha here. She goes in. Look at the damage coming out from Hani, though. She gets the flicker out from Amore as well, and now she's going to be looking to drag in more members, and you can't escape from this as Murray goes down as well. The power of the flare, dragging them back and forth. Now Smart Omega Empress might just have to watch this Lord take.
Oh, I'm pretty. Oh, hold on. Keishi wants to go in. Keishi wants to make a play, but they're too tanky. It's not going to happen here. It looks like the Lord is going over to Gaming Gladiators Homegirls. This Jushin is not going to see game number 2 or game number 3. I don't think so.
And maybe that's what it takes. You know, maybe that at that point you let it slip through game 1. But I don't know, man. Like at this point, you've seen it so many times. Have so much success throughout MWI alone. We didn't get a glimpse of her, you know, at all during MSC because she couldn't be played. But here for MWI, it's been a nuisance for any team to go against it because even when you have a good initiation, you set things up, once she joins the fight, someone is going to kind of have to be that sacrifice. Someone is going to have to be the one to get dragged around and stay back and just pretty much die, you know, because at that point, how do you escape it? Even a Winter Crown here picked up for Quinn. And now this is a big play. This is a big moment for Smart Omega Empress. Can they stay in the game here? The Lord making its way down the bottom, nearly 15 minutes in. We'll see how they play this out.
Yeah, honestly, this Jushin can force out mistakes, but Mireille probably could do something with the Unoffended. Maybe could force an initiation coming in from Gaming Gladiators and make them make a mistake. I mean, right now, taking a little bit of damage coming in from Not Ayami, as well as the Lord comes in, but they're focusing on mid.
Okay. Turret's going to go down finally. Mid as well. Still the top's up there. Blazing Duet going to be used, and then the Winter's Crown. Keshi couldn't get the shadow kill off that she was looking for as Amore falls, and Lord's still up here. Murray's going to be next, and she can't escape Ash. And now it's just a few members left of Smart Omega Empress. They want to fight back. Keshi waiting for the shadow kill to be back online, but she's going to find Ashton now looking for Quinn as she picks up the kill there. So far, so good. It's a double for Keshi.
Good news, bad news. Good news for Homegirls, they were able to get all of the inhibitors. Bad news is, honestly, there were moments where the minions was already in the base. They could have just ended it there, but not Ayanami pulled them away and able to delay the game, which is something that Smart Omega Empress really need, because once Natan has his items, which looks like is delaying the Holy Crystal, maybe that's why we're not seeing a lot of damage coming in from Smart Omega Empress. Oh, 12,000 and 9,000.
You know, you said she didn't have the gold lane experience earlier. I think we can say, you know, she had it in a way at this point now, even though she hasn't any kills, I think Fafao going in with the Blazing Duet and then just popping the Winter Crown is enough of a distraction to worry and then be like, oh, wait, we have to also worry about Hannah.
Yeah. At this point, it's the Lazy Winter.
Blazing Winter.
Yeah. Crowning that one. Lazy Winter. But either ways, right now 11-4 because Shinoa is delaying that Holy Crystal, instead opting for a Divine Glaive as well as the Wind of Nature. I don't know about the damage output of Shinoa at this point, and not Ayanami is going to get caught out, and you know she's going to get pulled.
Oh, that was some distance on that one. She brought her through the wall. And that's what I'm saying, LaFell. What do you do? How do you escape it, right? Even with the Vengeance alone and some of the itemization that not Ayanami has. Look at this. I mean, that was after she got sent through the wall.
If it was me, once I'm caught, I'm just going to spam the emotes. I know I'm going to die anyways. It's like, well played.
Yeah,
you know.
I don't know. Again, there's got to be something done, but right now that's another Lord just going in the hands here of GGHG. And with a fully exposed base, this is going to be even more difficult for Smart Omega Empress. How do they do this? How do they approach this defense here, LaFell?
Okay, try to imagine this.
I'm imagining.
Right? 5 men, I'm offended, right? That's first step.
Wait, why are you starting there? I thought it started with mindset.
Mindset. This is where the real game happens, all right? 5 men, what did I say again? I'm offended. And then 5 men, Eternal Guard. And then at that point, Shinoa uses her ult, and then first kill, and then bam, bam, boom, bam, bing, Savage. That's
okay.
That's how you do it.
We'll see if you have the foresight here for this one, if it's going to be a 5-man or not. But I thought you were just going to say it's all in the mindset. As now the Lord is in the mid lane, looking to close out this game number 1 here. GGHG goes in full force, doing their best to keep it together. It's not going to be a full 5-man setup, but there's a Minoan Fury. But on the backside, Keshi's going to find 1 immortality, gets the flicker out, but it's not enough as Keshi's the one to fall. Meanwhile, the rest of the Empress team will go ahead and keep the Lord at bay. They have to clear it out. Quinn is also quite low. Not Ayanami trying to escape. Pops the Vengeance. Murray 1 hit away, still has the immortality. So far, so good. Can they keep it together? The base is going to be worked on. It's at half health. They clear the minions out, and on the backside, once again, they find them all. But not Ayanami will not be enough as she falls into the base, and a couple more hits on that crystal, but they can't find it, but they finally get the hit. They get the game, and it's GGHG.
Well, Honey looks pretty happy with that one, but I gotta say, if I got a Jushin and I had that kind of protection.
With you there, LaFell, and actually we agree with you that pick up here by Omega Empress, picking up the Hayabusa early on, sort of in a way drafting themselves into a corner. They were lacking, and it was a little bit easier for the side of Gaming Gladiators Homegirls to make their lineup work. It feels like I'm saying the same kind of script or narrative that we had earlier with the matchup of C9, but it is what it is. This is sort of like a mix of old and new. Yeah, you have a jungle, tank jungle, but you have a very aggressive mid-rotation with the Mino, with the Jushin, and they took control from there, which meant that as we all mentioned, Fafa will be able to carry with that Claude, and she did. Woo!
More than just Fafao, I think I